family? What's going on? It's Cornez here with Too Smart to Be Broke. I want to thank y'all for coming to the channel. Please share, like, and subscribe. Drop down in the comments if you got any feedback you want to build with me. Also, you can reach me at Too Smart to Be Broke on Instagram. Shoot me a DM. I don't post a lot, but you can, you can get at me, and I keep my phone on me. Also, send me an email. And I try to answer questions, 1 or 2 questions. I keep it, if it's real light, I can get to it. If it's kind of heavy and a lot of information, then you might just need to get me on the phone. And, if you're interested in doing that, doing a quick consultation, I'm doing 30 minutes or an hour. So if you're interested on that, just shoot me a message or a DM, and then, we'll build from there. If you don't know what I talk about here, the reason I started this channel, I started talking about getting business credit and what it was like going through the motions. And so I just started to actually post more content about my progress. So, some things that happen along the process, so you can have a general idea of what you can do and do things better than me and avoid some of the learning experiences rather than mistakes that I have made on my journey. So with that being said, business credit is a credit profile that you can build with your business using an EIN number, which is very similar to how you can build credit with your individual with a social security number. All right. What the EIN number is an employee identification number. It's used for tax purposes. You can get it from irs.gov. If you ever had a regular job here in America, they give you a W-2 at the end of the year to file around February to file your taxes. And on that W-2 is going to have your employer's EIN number. So they give those to the employees. So since you have a business now, you can actually have employees, and you would give them, if they were your employee, you would give them they would give you a W-4 for the year, and then you will give them a W-2 for tax purposes. Anyway, not to get caught on that, just for the new people who may not understand what business credit is. And if you don't understand what business credit is, I have several videos speaking about it, so go back and check some of those out. I may make a newer updated video soon. But for the team that's been here, or for the people that know what business credit is, if you are building business credit, you will need a monitoring service. So it is free if you click the link below. It is an affiliate link for NAV, right? Which I think you get the most bang for your buck. And the free version is better than nothing. At least you'll know when something happens, when something's fluctuating on your business credit profile, at least you know it's there. All right. So that's much appreciated. So if you are going to do it, like I say, it's free. And if you appreciate the content, why not support me anyway? If you want me to get straight to the chase and you think I'm upselling, well, here is the information that you were looking for. Building business credit for truckers. I was a trucker for about 5 years, about 4 years and 11 months. And it is a very, very good, decent business and industry, the transportation industry to be in. If you really think about it, everything needs to get from A to B. So it's, we live. It's consuming the consumer, the consumer world. So you got to get the product out there, whether it came by train, whether it came by boat, whether it came by plane, or what was on the truck. And it might have been on a train, on a boat, and on a it might have been on a train, on a boat, and a plane, and still end up getting on a truck. So unless you just, getting stuff local and all this other stuff. So right now, I think it's a very good business to get into. Although I will say this, I have seen self-driving 18-wheelers. Look it up on YouTube. There are self-driving 18-wheelers. So in about 10 years, I don't know where this business will be. Honestly, it seems like a scary thing now to be carrying all that weight and stuff via computer. But even when I was driving, just like a little over a year ago, they had the vehicles that would slow down if you got too close to somebody. That would slow down by itself. I wouldn't even press the brake. If it's on cruise control and somebody's in front of me and they're going slower than me, then my truck slows down when I get to so many certain feet to keep up the distance between them. And if you would, be over the line, it'll beep, beep, beep to let you know you're over the line. So I do believe, that information out there, the Teslas and some other cars are driving themselves and parking themselves. But not to go on a tangent about that, just to let you know that it's changed my life. It's allowed me to get a house, allowed me to fix my credit, allowed me to, do things and maneuver as a man and provide for myself. So it is, you do got to hustle. You got to be out there. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to do it. But It changed my life. And you can actually, if you are interested in getting a trucking business, you can actually get in a position to get a trucking business and just put somebody else in it. But there are steps and the procedures are to doing that. So whether you're in, whether you're in any fleet business, whether you drive limousines, whether you do Ubers, whether you deliver packages, all of these cards and information that may be beneficial to you, because the cards I'm going to tell you about are mostly net accounts, and they allow you to get fuel and maintenance. Most of them are net accounts, meaning net 22s, net 30s. You have to pay the complete bill within 22 to 30 days. But with that being said, $900, $1,000, $2,000, $10,000, whatever, it could be enough for you to actually, get fuel and maintenance on the road to get going and keep going. Or if something happens and you need to fuel up, or you need to change a tire, or if something like that happens, it'll enable you to keep going, at least to pick up your next load to get paid. Because some of these loads out here, depending on who you're driving for or who you contract with, you can get paid the same day. Anyway, but this video is not about how to start a trucking business. It's more or less talking about a couple of cars and things like that. And look, this is not affiliated. I do not know these people personally, but I do follow Erica's Classic Climb blog, and she mentioned something about Hood Estates. Hood Estates, they're in the real estate, they're in the trucking. They have a trucking course out. I don't know if it's still out, but you might want to YouTube it or Google them or find them on Facebook or Instagram. Find them on Instagram or YouTube and follow their information. I think they have a course on how to start a trucking business and put somebody pretty much put somebody in the driver's seat, so that way you're making passive income every week. All right. So, and keep in mind, when you're getting into this information, when you're trying to level up, you have to invest in yourself. You're going to invest your time. You can do a lot of things for free online. You're going to have to do a lot of work and put a lot of pieces to the puzzle together. If you are looking for somebody to give you a structured step-by-step process of doing something, they're putting their time, their information, and probably stuff that they paid for and went through some trial and error on to give it to you and bundle it to you. So know that is important if you resonate with them. Yes, everybody worries about scammers and stuff like that, but do your due diligence with people. Do some reviews, check some histories, get them on the phone, talk to other people, and go with your gut intuition. You know what I'm saying? If something funny, then you know what it is. Don't do it. So I'm plugging them in. I'm not affiliated with them by any means. I've just seen some of the people have results and stuff like that. So if you are looking for that kind of content, I'm not going to be talking about that. More or less, I'm just going to be talking about funding. So now that we got that out the way, you know what we're going to be talking about. Because, yes, I drove trucks for 4 years, 11 months, and, I've been over the place. So I know a little bit about it. All right. So today what I did do is actually I called a local place that is here, and I think they might have some of these in other places, but it's just one place. I did say I wasn't going to talk about how to get started and everything that it takes to get a trucking business running, because it is some steps to it if you're going to be running on your own authority and different things like that. But right here we have 2 Volvo 630s. I called Aero Truck Sales because I remember when I was looking for a truck, I think at that time it might have been a 686 credit score that I needed, or 650, 6 something. And it was, I think now, I can't recall because it's different now. Back then, I believe they would match up to $6,000. So if I put if I got approved and what they financing, if I put $6,000 down, they was gonna approve me for the other. They were gonna put another $6,000 down, which would equate to $12,000 down on a truck, to go out and make money with. Today I called and they told me that they're financing if you get approved. He didn't tell me what the credit score needed to be. He just told me that, hey, he doesn't know, but if you get approved, typically, if you put $7,500 down, they will put an additional $4,000 down. So if you did get a $40,000 Volvo, hold on, let me pull my quick time back up. Why does it always happen when I get to recording? So, boom. So if you are going to get a $40,000 Volvo, here you are. You'll put over $11,000 down. And if you do the $7,500 and they put their $4,000 down. So this is just one company. Don't be alarmed if you are getting into trucks. Over $500,000 miles ain't bad. You can easily get over 1 million miles on trucks. That they are built to stand the test of time, and I love Volvos. So that's just some insight. I know some people personal cars actually be more than that. I don't know interest rates. I don't know anything. It's just giving you a planting a seed for some of you that may be interested in that area. Somebody else I also talked to today was a global fleet card person. So pretty much what he told me is, hey, if you want to get a global fleet card, you will need to be in business for 3 years or more, right? He's like, if you're not in business for 3 years or more, then you will need to be a personal guarantor, typically with a 670 or better. And if you don't want to do that, then you will need to put down a $500 deposit. And whatever your deposit is the amount of credit that your business will be awarded. So you will get typically like a net 22, meaning you pay it off within 22 days of the invoice. And, it's a net 22. You pay it off within 22 days of the invoice, and that would be your credit limit. All right. So that's what he told me today. Those are your three options. And that pretty much is true for a lot of these cards. Right. So not necessarily the 3 years thing, but a lot of them are going to either be personally guarantored, you're going to need a personal guarantee. You're going to need a deposit. But I will say this, because he did say the WEX card. He said that for either the WEX card was for like the smaller banks and for the smaller fleets, and he said in U.S. Bank was for the larger type fleets, depending on what you need. So that's that. So I got global fleet, right? And I just let you know that he's told me one of the cards for WEX, one of the banks was for U.S. Bank, and they have several cards. So what WEX is actually a bank that has a lot of fleet cards. As you can see here, if I scroll up, I have the Universal WEX card. I got the WEX Flex card. I think it allows you to have a carryover, a balance, because most of them are net accounts. All right. So you got 7-Eleven, 76, A-Line, you got Chevron, Circle K, Exxon, Citgo, Conoco, Exxon. Let's see. I think you all pretty much get the deal here. You got Gulf Commercial, Gulf Business, and it's going to be some regional places in here. Everybody has their corner stores that are very different everywhere you go. All right. So Holiday Universal. So if Lukoil, if you're in some of these places and you're traveling in these areas where some of these are beneficial to you, then you may go here to specifically save gas, save on some pennies, get you some points, whatever, with that particular place. I started out with a WEX card, right? Let me see if I can cover this up, right? I think WEX was my first one because I realized a lot of these cards, even though they say Circle K, Shell, and whatever, they're actually WEX. So as you can see here, here's a universal WEX fleet, right? And here's the thing about, and this I got actually a $1,500 limit. It was one of my first fleet cards. Don't quote me. I think it's a net 22 as well. I do believe it's a net 22. Which means you're supposed to pay it 22 days after you've been invoiced. And what happens is you fill out the card, you fill out the information for your business, and it's going to ask you how many vehicles you have, how many drivers you have. And typically, all I did was register the driver. I didn't necessarily I didn't have to like go in and register no VIN number, no registration as far as my vehicle. I just asked me how many vehicles I had. And then you just line up the card with your vehicle. It keeps track of your invoices, your receipts online, how much money you spent and where at online. So that's a very beneficial thing to having these types of fleets cards. So if you want to keep track of your receipts and stuff like that, it's a very easy way to do that there. Now, with that being said, let's talk about something else I got. I think my next card I actually got was a Fuel Man, right? So if you look here, this is a Fuel Man fleet cards, and I got the Fuel Man Advantage Platinum Corporate MasterCard. Let's see if I can do this, because I know how y'all people is. I'm giving y'all information, but I can't just be putting my business out there like that. So y'all can see that's the Fuel Man Advantage corporate card. That one, I believe, actually only got $900 limit, and it's the same similar type of terms. So I use that one every now and then just to make sure it registers. So keep in mind too, just a side note, business credit is bent on making on time payments. So what you want to do is make payments on time, make them early, make them, you know what I'm saying? And if you ever get in a situation where you jack up like I did and you miss a payment, whether it's because it wasn't set up on auto pay or you paid on that day and it took a couple of days took 2 or 3 business days for it to register, you just missed the payment. And they're going to tell you, some people will tell you it's not going to affect you. It affects you if your business if you miss one day. Okay. The only way I've actually seen to combat that is maybe collect every account that you have and just make a fresh payment and pay it off on every account, and that will help kind of make a current, several current payments at one time. So that's something to consider. All right. So I got that. So I actually got two Fuel Man's, vehicle 1 and vehicle 2, and that was my second fuel card that I actually received. And some other honorable mentions that I tend to hear people talk about all the time is like BP Solutions. They have a MasterCard. So a lot of these are going to end up being from the same banks once you start getting into it. So you want to pay attention to the application when you're filling it out. Typically, the WEX fleet application, like you don't want to. Here's the thing: when you are getting WEX fuel cards, even if you're getting a Circle K and a Shell, you don't want to get several WEX fleet cards in the same stint. What you want to do is give it some time. I would give it a couple months, give it 2 or 3 months in between cards, because WEX will thank you. Like WEX will look at you funny if you're just getting several accounts at one time. And what will happen if you are giving several gas accounts at one time? Because I've filled out several WEX accounts at one time, and what happens is they'll say, even though they just approved me for one, they'll go back and say, hey, okay, we'll approve you, but you have to put down a security deposit. So these net cards are without no PG, so they're not unsecured, meaning they're net accounts, so you have to pay them in full. So that's why they're not no PG cards. And I actually got a Quick Trip WEX coming. So my Quick Trip is going to be from WEX, and when I was looking at the Quick Trip, because several of those are popping up out here in the San Antonio area. Some of y'all and some other places are very familiar with Quick Trip. But anywho, it was kind of similar to this WEX Flex account they got up here. I read it and it told me, hey, you're able to carry a balance if you need to. So I was interested in that, because here we go. So we got Quick Trip Fleet Master card. We got Quick Trip Fleet Master Express card. And then it says no setup or monthly fees. Save up to 5 cents a gallon at Quick Trip with cash flow flexibility. Let's click on learn more. Carry a monthly balance when cash flow is tight, plus rein in on one of your biggest business expenses with instant accounting reports and powerful tools of saving. So it did not get into the extent, I don't believe, but maybe when I actually get that, I probably got to go pick that up from my business mailbox. But see there, I just said, man, well, if I can carry a monthly balance, I think that's pretty cool. Sometimes, something might be tight and you can make a minimum payment rather than pay the whole thing. Y'all know how I go. So out there, boom, I talked about that. So WEX Fleet and Fuel Man, I think are going to be the two biggest ones. I'm not sure if global. I can't talk today. What is going on? Global Fleet Solutions has some WEX cards and apparently some U.S. bank cards. I did not call BP, so I'm not sure if BP is connected with Fuel Man or ComData or any of that, or if it's his own thing. So the MasterCards, it ain't like you can just go out and pay for a TV with it. But I have seen, like I said, I've been out with Sigma when I was driving for them, and sometimes I had to pay for a hotel. So I do think they have flexible accounts sometimes, depending on the card, where you can actually spend it on different things. But here's the big one. Here's the big one that I tell people about, and some people actually, I was actually having No, just kind of dropping some information. Actually, if you guys wanna go to a Facebook group, I think the Facebook group is actually ran by Ty Crano for Credit Suite. I'm gonna start my own Facebook group probably here, sometime next year. But it's called Get Business Credit. Right. And sometimes a lot of people are dropping game and dropping information in there. So when I tell y'all need to get in these Facebook groups for whatever it is that you're trying to do, pay attention, look in the file sections, make friends, make posts, make comments, ask questions. And, you'll find a lot of information for the free on you just got to apply it. You know what I mean? But I was sharing with a brother. I was sharing with the group that I just really applied for that Quick Trip Fleet card. I got $7,500. So y'all keep in mind, I started off with $1,500 on my first go with Wex, and then I had $900. I got $900 for the fuel man, and then I already had a Wex account, so I applied again with the Quick Trip Fleet, which is still with Wex Bank, and then they gave me $7,500 on the Quick Trip. So keep that in mind. The more and more you do this, the more and more you'll get. So you see right here, Conoco it says Wex. This is clearly on Wex's website. These clearly say Conoco. Right, so Conoco 76, Phillips 66, all the same thing. What I told the brother after doing some research is, I think he was looking for some, kind of curious to see if the Quick Trip carried the payment, because I was just reading what it said on the site. He informed me that it was the same thing as the Flex card, and I said, okay, cool. I said, but have you, if you want to unsecured, Conoco card, I say check out unsecured gas card, check out the Conoco Phillips 6676. He informed me he already had it. Had several Wex accounts, and I said, okay, let me be specific right here. The Synchrony card right here. If anybody is familiar with actually building business credit with places that get approved, Synchrony is one of the biggest players in town. Let me show you why. Synchrony is the bank behind, guess who? Sam's Club. Right, so Sam's Club, Walmart, Lowe's, J.C. Penney, Amazon. These are places that have net accounts, right? That I don't think the J.C. Penney doesn't report unless you default, but all the other ones, I believe, report. So I said, wow, I already have a Lowe's account. I got an Amazon account. I have I got several Synchrony Bank accounts. So Synchrony Bank is a big player, especially for that Sam's Club card and the Sam's Club MasterCard, right? The store card and the MasterCard. So I figured, why not go ahead and apply for this? I didn't think I was going to get the card. Let me tell you why. It says, to increase the likelihood of approval, you should be able to answer yes to one of the following statements, okay? The company has been in business for more than 3 years. I am willing to personally guarantee this account. The company has been in business for more than 3 years, but does not have an established business credit history. I am willing to personally guarantee this account. All right. So look, here's the thing. They give you the option online to not have to personally guarantee. What does that mean? That means you can apply and not personally guarantee, which means they're not going to pull a hard inquiry on your personal credit, and you're not going to be held liable for if it does not go through. So keep in mind that inquiries are not a big deal on the business side. They do affect you on the individual personal side. So I said, my business has not been in business for 3 years, but why not apply anyway? I did not think I was going to get this card. But one day, I think it sent me something. You know how it sends you something to what they say you'll get something in the mail based on a decision? Guess what? Your boy ended up getting, even though it asked for your social security number here, you don't have to put it as long as you check. You don't have to check the personal guarantee. You know what I'm saying? You do not have to check the personal guarantee on here. You do not have to check the personal guarantee on here. So keep that in mind. I ended up getting, right, the Conoco 76 Phillips 66 Fleet Commercial Card, unsecured, meaning it's a regular credit card, but it's only for fuel and maintenance, with a $40,000 limit. To all my truck drivers, what can a $40,000 limit for fuel and maintenance do for your business? Hey, I'm not saying that you're going to go get a $40,000 gas card with your business, with your information, based on your EIN and the structure of your business. I'm just showing you what I did. So, these, I guess what I'm supposed to say something along the lines of, these results are not typical. So don't go thinking just because I did it and I said you're going to go do it. I'm just showing you what I did and showing you what's possible. So, the cool thing about this, actually, this card, you actually get 2 of these cards as well, and they're both the same account. 2 of these cards. So the difference between these cards is the actual gray one is just one you take with you. The driver takes with them. The actual orange one you can actually leave at a Phillips 66, Conoco, or 76. You can leave it on file at the store, and your driver can just put it on a tab. So if you have drivers and you don't trust them with the car, you can actually leave the card at the store. If you feel that, you feel that's funny or risky, I'm just telling you, that's what it is. So hopefully I did not make this video too long and boring, and I helped somebody out with some information, because that's pretty much it. I'm going to close out here. Just let you know that if you are starting a trucking business or a fleet business or a business with vehicles, then those cards, along with others, whatever state, city you're in, whatever stores that you're used to or whatever, you may be interested in doing that. I'm just saying, I know for me personally, if I was doing trucking business right now, a $40,000 gas card, fuel card would do numbers. You know what I'm saying? I mean, of course, I would have to probably get my personal credit together if I wanted to get a truck. Maybe have some funds, or maybe partner with somebody who has good credit and can put a down payment on the truck. Maybe I use my leverage as already having a fuel card. I don't know. I'm just saying, it's amazing what things are possible. And you might want to read the fine detail. Even on this card says Phillips 66, Conoco 76. I have used this card at a pilot before. So I'm not 100% positive, but I'm pretty sure that you can use these at major truck stops too if I use it as a pilot. And so that's just letting y'all know what's attainable. So right here, if we're talking about what's in my hand right now, we got, the $40,000 alone. And keep in mind, my business started November 2017. I don't know the exact date that I got that card, but it was under 2 years, clearly. This is only like 42,000, but with that I got a $7,500 quick trip fleet on the way just to get another account registered. It didn't hurt anything. I'm going to get some gas with it here and there and just let it register, to kind of build that up, and build my score back up to where it needs to be. So with that being said, man, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. I hope this video helps somebody. If you are in the fleet business or trucking industry, and especially if you have been in the trucking industry, if you've been in the trucking industry already and you're not up on this game, then you definitely need to invest in that, because man, I'm talking about it, especially when the bank's seeing that you got that money coming in and going out. Granted, you got to stay on the road to make it happen. Trust me, I know. But anyway, I love y'all. Remember, you're too smart to be broke. Drop down in the comments, share, like, and subscribe. If you want free business credit monitoring, click the link below and help your boy out. I am not a financial accountant or advisor. CYA, cover your... I did so good on the video. But what is it? Oh, yeah. Contact your attorney, contact your accountant, and cover your assets. All right? Peace.